friend to my right, of a dear friend, of the father of the Missouri Basketball Association, Gerald Andrews, at the beginning of our ceremony today, did a great job sharing some comments about Gary Filbert. Gary Filbert is the reason we're all here today. 1985, Gary was on the staff of Coach Norm Stewart at the University of Missouri, and Coach Stewart had a challenge to try to get more basketball coaches, men and women, in the state of Missouri involved, and gave his assistant, Gary Filbert, that challenge. And 20-some odd years later, here we are today, 1,300 strong, and now 165 plus, I guess, Kevin, that have been inducted into this Hall of Fame. It would not happen without Gary Filbert. Our board of directors, 2 years ago, with Gary in attendance, decided to come up with what we considered to be the Gary Filbert Lifetime Achievement Award. How fitting that unanimously 37 coaches across the state of Missouri were in favor of that, and how fitting that the first recipient was Gary Filbert. Today we are going to honor its second member, which would be forever in the Hall of Fame. And I have a special guest here that's going to help me present this. Would you please join me in welcoming Glenn Filbert to the stage. The Gary Filbert Lifetime Achievement Award. In 1985, a prominent Missouri coach named Gary Filbert took the reins of a grassroots effort to create a forum and advocacy for both prep and college basketball coaches in the state of Missouri. That work results in what is now an association that claims over 1,300 members and fulfills its very simple mission statement, promoting basketball in the state of Missouri. In 2010, as I mentioned, the Gary Lifetime Achievement Award was found, and first person to receive that was its namesake, Gary Filbert. The award goes to a Missouri coach who has gone above and beyond the call of duty and a career and lifetime in the profession of this great game of basketball. This year's recipient, and I'm sure you've had a chance to read the bio in the program, has fulfilled exactly what this award states, has gone above and beyond the call of duty for this association in the game of basketball in the state of Missouri. As many coaches we know, Gary is the godfather of this association. He also is a godfather to hundreds of coaches in this association. Denny has been involved in this association for over 20 years. He was vice president, he was president, and he has been a constant contact between our association and the so many wonderful things that happen in Springfield, Missouri. Personally, we've been through some difficult times over the past several years. It's sometimes very difficult when you have an organization that is solely based on volunteers. Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? When is it going to get done? It has to get done. Every single time we are in a time of need, Denny has always been there for this association. It is a privilege and a pleasure and an honor to present the 2012 recipient of the Gary Filbert Lifetime Achievement Award, Denny Hunt.
I know, you're all tired, you want to go home, but, you know, since I am Linda Filbert, I'm the mother of this organization, so
That's right.
I get that charge. Okay. Among the things that Gary loved the most were basketball, coaching, and the state of Missouri. He dedicated his life to those three things as a player, as a coach, and leader of athletics in the state of Missouri. I can tell you Gary would approve, Denny, of you being selected as this year's winner, because your career has also demonstrated your love of the same three things as he loved. Congratulations.
Thank you. You know, Gary used to tell me, you know, I could be a Baptist preacher. He said, every time I put you in front of a microphone, it goes on forever. And I know that some of you are ready to go, and had a couple of friends that they had to be somewhere at 3 o'clock. So that gives me 25 minutes, right? David, I appreciate it very much. It's a great honor. The board, the organization, has been super, and it's getting better all the time, and you know, keep it going. Glenda and Gary were just super friends of ours. You know, I just can't say too much. My first Final Four, NCAA Final Four, I got there because of Gary Filbert. You know, as president of the association, he says, hey, calls me up, he says, you need to go Indianapolis. I think that's where it was. You need to go. I said, Gary, I can't do that. I'm a high school basketball coach at Central, I think, at that time. And I said, you know, I can't do that. He said, well, you're athletic director of Edsel Matthews, and I know him well. And I said, well, okay. I said, why do I need to go? And he said, well, we've got this presentation we're going to give to Norm Stewart, and because the association, you're the president, he said, you got to help do this. And I said, all right, I'd love to go, but I said, I just don't know how that can happen. Hey, the next day my phone rings, it's from Edsel Matthews. And he says, I've talked to your principal, and you're going to Indianapolis to the Final Four. And I said, well, thanks, Coach. I said, I appreciate it. So away we go. And I got educated by Gary over the years. I mean, from the point that, you notice I have a tie on today? Gary Filbert told me, anywhere I go, it's important you wear a tie. Right, Glenda?
Right.
Yeah. And then Glenda chews him out one time. Some function we went to, he didn't need a tie. I didn't need a tie. I show up, and I've got my tie on. All right? I'm looking good. Gary and Glenda step off the elevator. She looks at me, then she looks at Gary, and she just kind of shakes her head. Gary. I said, well, Gary, you don't have a tie on. I said, this function not important? He said, Glenda wouldn't let me wear it, and you'll have to take yours off too, because Glenda said we don't wear a tie. So I took my tie off gladly, and I put it in my pocket. So, you know, many things, many conversations over the years, and I mean, great relationship. And Glenda, once again, you know, we do, Patty and I, we cherish that. All right. Now, I do need to mention, you know, when you receive an award like this, it says lifetime. Well, my wife, Patty, you know, it goes to her as well, because she's been every step of the way. And folks, I'm telling you, you know, this roller coaster we're on, you win, sometimes you don't, right, guys? And then you're up at 2 o'clock in the morning watching game film. She's got the door shut so she can sleep, and I've got the thing turned up. So, you know, they go through all this, and they live it, and they live it more than what we really realize they do. All right? So whenever things like this good happens, hey, they're a part of it. So, Patty, thank you. My wife, Patty. Beside of her, I have 2 daughters, and they're the same way. They've been there the whole way. Samantha is the oldest. You know, they both played one time or another, both like it. And then the youngest is Alexandra. So they're both here today. And ladies, I appreciate you too.